Yes, my people, today we are going to talk about the removal of shanties and street trading from our cities. Yes, our cities are more of villages in this part of the world. I'm not limiting it to any particular state, but this is what is obtainable in major cities in Nigeria and this side of the world. Yes, my people said that if you want to find the origin of murder, that's killing, then you go to the blacksmith. And we can't cease calling the government. That government is responsible for a large aspect of these things that we are talking about. Yes, government is responsible for the traffic jam that we see on the road. I will tell you why. Also, government somehow encourages crime. Yes, I will tell you why and in full detail what I mean by that. Though this removal of shanties and removal of street trading, it comes with a lot of challenges that can affect people. But I will tell you some, balanced approach to it. Viewers, we are going to discuss the removal of shanties and street trading from our streets. We cannot say that we are living in a city. The only difference between our cities and those living in the villages is that our city we have more people and more building, and that is the only difference. Probably there are places, roads that looks like a third road. Yes, that is the difference between the cities and what we call cities and the villages. So, but today we are going to discuss about these shanties, how government can go about removing them successfully, a kind of balanced approach, because we know that people's life will be affected somehow. So, but there are some ways, laid down ways that government can take and people will not feel the impact much. There is no doubt shanties are not good in our cities and it has become a way of life. Individually don't have that might and responsibility to go on enforcement, but there could be a law that can stop individual from erecting these shanties in and around our cities. So that's why I said government has almost 100% responsibility in stopping these things in our city. Well, I will give you the whole details of everything you need to know concerning this approach and talk about the advantages and the challenges that will come with this idea of a removal of shanties. It is long, it been in existence in our society, so it's not going to be that easy. Though if government decide that they are going to do this thing, it's nothing to the government. So let's go into the details and see how we can go about it. My name is Steve Chinedu. Please subscribe to this channel so that you follow along. The responsibility is not only for this channel but for all of us. Yes, if you have a better city, it will benefit everybody, and people will see us as sane people, not like animals, because our city tells more about the kind of people that we are. Yes, without wasting time, let's go into the details. Thank you. Yes, my great viewers, I wish to apologize for using that word animal, though the animal is in quotes, so nobody can feel offended, but there is just an exaggeration anyway. So, but today we are going to discuss what I said about the removal of shanties and street trading. But where we are now is along Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, as the service lane part of it. We are moving along the service lane, and shortly we are going to move into Onitsha, and probably some few other places. We move into Onitsha, we follow MCC, that's a New Cemetery Road. It's not New Cemetery Road is not the worst place you can see shanties or the least place. It's just, as the spirit leads, we are going to take new cemetery, an unusual place, and we are going to take Modebelu too. We'll move down to Modebelu. Then through Modebelu, we'll go towards Venn Road. And that is how we are going to move. Then we may show other places in addition to these places that I've mentioned. Yes, let's move ahead towards what we are going to discuss today. Then we said that the decision to remove shanties and street trading in our cities is very complex. It is a complex issue with both potential benefits and challenges. Yes, I've said it that it has challenges, but the challenges are, usual challenges that people have to face to achieve what they want to achieve. Now we are moving along the new cemetery road. We are going to move down here towards Modebelu Junction. If you know this place very well, you understand our movement. So, but if you don't know it, you still be observing. You can be seeing shanties, all those attached building, things that looks like shade. As in, after the building, you start seeing things like all these zinc projections, canopy projections. Those are the shanties. What do they call them? Containers. All these things, kiosk. In our streets, you can see them. Bacha. All these things are shanties. Anything outside the usual structure of a building, let me just leave it like that. You don't attach any attachment. Shanties can be described as attachment to building. That's all. Anything you attach to a building from the original structure of a building is what we call shanties. That is the simple definition that can get into people's ears. Because some people may want to be sure of what we are calling shanties. And now I've given you a simple definition. So these are the things that we say we don't want on our streets. And government has the most responsibility to remove them and ensure that it does not come back again. Like I said, I'm going to show us the advantages of this removal of shanties and street trading. Yes, we have been on the side of using shanties and everything in our city. We have been used to it. Let's try the normal thing this time around and see how we feel. I remember that time the governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, was removing shanties. People were like, everywhere is now fine, everywhere is now beautiful. Everywhere looks shiny and open. You see the damages that these shanties does to our society. Because we have been living with these things, we tend to close our eyes and we tend to becloud us that we don't see the reality of our lives. So, let's go through the advantages of removing these shanties. Urban aesthetic values. Yes. Removal of shanties can contribute to improve urban aesthetics, making cities more visually appealing and potentially attracting investment and tourism. So invariably, government is the one stopping investment in our cities because they have refused to enforce all these removal of shanties in our cities. So invariably, government is fighting investment to our cities. That is the implication. And visitors also, because when you are living in a tattered environment, people don't have that mind and the interest to come and visit this city. But I bet you a neat city, when a city is neat, that neatness alone can attract tourism. You see where people can be making their money? Just that neat environment. People will have that joy. You see that you breathe fresh air in such environment. Well, traffic flow. Initially, I mentioned it that government is the one causing traffic on our street, and I said I will explain. Clearing street trading areas may enhance traffic flow, reducing congestions and improving overall transportation efficiency. Yes, I've said this thing before, and I said I will explain. If you come to some places, let me give you an instance. If you are moving from Opiweka towards Owerri Road, you will notice that street trading in front of that relief market is something else. There was a time, Atma, they removed people, they stopped people from trading on that street, and that place is as beautiful as anything. And they are being, kept clean. And not just that it's beautiful and clean, vehicles just come and move their way through that place. There's nothing like a hold up. Along those axes down to Aba Park towards Owerri Road, there was a time they stopped people trading along that road, and come and see how clean and free flow of traffic along that side. Yes, we are moving along Modebelu Street. Modebelu Street in Onitsha. That's where we are moving. Shortly, we are going to come out at Iweka Road, that junction at Iweka Road. There is a junction there that we usually pass if you are coming down from Downfly, moving towards the main market to check the road construction. So we are going to cross through that area here so that you see what I am talking about. It's just to let you know that we are going to cross through that place. And if you observe this place, this road is entirely bad. This Modebelu Street, in fact, there is no street in Onitsha that is not a busy street. You can see how grasses are growing on the street and nothing happens. The whole road is bad. Well, there are a lot of works to be done in Anambra, honestly speaking, especially, when it comes to transportation, because there is nothing that can be relieving more than people being free while moving on the road. Very, very important. In fact, if not the number one thing that government needs to do after, making life easy for people to find food to eat. That is one of the important things to be done. Well, we talk about public safety. The removal can contribute to public safety by reducing fire hazard, crime. I said it, that government contributes to crime. When you leave these shanties, it's just like what happened in Abia State when Governor Oti went to Lokpanta to demolish that shanties there at Lokpanta, because that is where these hoodlums, have a safe haven for themselves. And corpses were discovered in that place. About how many number of corpses were discovered? You see, crime can be reduced when government remove these shanties and discourage them. That is what we are saying. And the risk of accidents associated with informal structures and street trading. Well, I cannot say more than what I have said now concerning this removal of shanties. Infrastructure development. We said that the cleared space may be repurposed for more structured and planned urban development, leading to improved infrastructure and amenities. Well, having briefly, showed you guys about the advantages of removal of shanties, Let's go about the challenges. And after the challenges, I will mention the balanced approach that government can use to follow it up. Then the challenges include livelihoods. Many people rely on street trading for their livelihood. Removing these opportunities without providing alternative solution may lead to economic hardship for vulnerable population. Yes, that is a big challenge. People's livelihood will be affected, but government should, before doing that, there could be an arrangement for soft landing. Let there be a place, there could be a structured building that can be allotted to people to go there and trade with well subsidized amount. That is what I'm saying. The amount will be subsidized and government will have that, structure for them to go and trade. Yes, social impact. Forced removal can have social implications, leading to displacement, homelessness, and potential resentment among affected communities. That's the social aspect of it. Where people can be displaced. That's why I said government needs to do some things before these things will come into play. Government don't just go on enforcement, but maybe after this general enforcement, government will now put more penalties for people, as in the way they will treat people that they caught that embarked on it again will be more strict. That is the game. That is what I'm saying. Yes, we talk about the informal economy. Street trading often forms a significant part of the informal economy. Eliminating it without addressing the underlying economic issues may not be a sustainable solution. That is the thing. I said this thing maybe in one or two of my videos. If you want to treat malaria, just treat malaria. If somebody is having malaria and you are treating fever, you are making a very big mistake. Until you treat the malaria, the person will not get fundamental relief. The only relief you are leaving this person is the headache that he's having, or the body will become less hot. That's all. But the malaria will still come back, and the fever and the headache will still come back again. That is what I'm saying. So it's good that government goes into the details to solve the problems of what brings about this street trading that is happening everywhere. Though we know that necessarily it's not just, hardship. People feel that they are free to do it, that there is nothing there, it's not against the law. But once government make it to become a law, it will not be easy again for people to embark on, this street trading, projections and shanties on our streets. They will become conscious of it and do the right thing. Well, let's proceed. Legal human rights. Evicting people without proper legal procedures and consideration of human rights can lead to ethical concerns and legal challenges. So that's why I said, and there are things government need to put in place before doing these things, before this removal. I'm not saying that government cannot just go and remove, but government needs legal backings. Is there any law against this street trading? Yes or no? Is there any law against erection of shanties on our streets? Anything that is outside the proper building, is there any law against it? That is what we are talking about. So government has to be prepared before going into this removal of shanties and stoppage of street trading. Let me talk about this approach that governments need to follow, that balanced approach that we are talking about. Well, I know and I hope that you are with me. Please don't leave this race alone for me. We are all involved in this race, and it's for our own good and the good of our children. America is fine, Europe is fine, Asia, some other places are fine. They are the people of that place that made it to be fine. Africa cannot keep doing like this. How long can we run away from our continent? Yes, we know that the Western world are not helping issues. Sometimes they help us to, form some kind of policies that are not beneficial, but we have to stand our ground and do what is right. Then this balanced approach, a more balanced approach, involves urban planning that considers the needs of both the city's development and the livelihood of its residents. And this may include designated trading zone. Governments have to allot a zone, a place for them to trade, for people to come and trade. Like these people that are going to be affected, government can prepare a place first, then allot the places to them at a giveaway, almost giveaway prices for some few years before they can start paying normal. Yes, that is one of the good approach that government can follow while doing this thing. Allocating specific areas for street trading to ensure order and safety. That is it. Then economic empowerment. Implementing programs to support alternative livelihood and economic opportunities for these affected people. Government is just something like what Governor Soludo is doing with the youth, something like that. A similar thing can be organized for people that are affected to help them and give them a soft landing to their livelihood in terms of empowering them economically. So that's why their government has much responsibilities. Government is like a social insurance. Government collect tax from people, and those tax are to be used for other people. Also, it's for general people to benefit. So government is the one that manages the tax that they collect from the people in a city or in a particular locality, and use that tax effectively. That is what I am saying. Then we talk about community engagement, involving affected communities in the decision-making process to address their concern and find collaborative solutions. What I'm saying is that when government is ready to handle these things, they are to involve people that are they know that they have marked their house bad, demolition. Probably after marking the places, some things that are going to be removed, they can invite them for decision making. They will be part of the meeting. It may be appointed people that will represent them so that they will form part of the meeting. That's what I'm saying. So government, while trying to have that approach, must involve these people. Yes, but before removing shanties from the street, the government should undertake several critical steps to ensure a fair, legal, and humane, process. Well, I'm going to roll out the critical steps that governments need to follow. That's the critical steps this time around. We talk about, community engagement, information dissemination. Under community engagement, we talk about information dissemination. Provide clear information about the reasons for removal, alternative plans, and the timeline to affected communities. Then dialogue and consultation. That's under community engagement. I'm still talking about though. Dialogue and consultation. Engage with the affected people through open dialogue and consultation to understand their needs, concern, and potential solution. These are the ideal thing that government is to do if they are serious in removing these shanties in our streets and ensure strict enforcement. After this general step, we are still talking about the critical steps to ensure a fair and legal and humane process. That's what we are talking about now. Then we still go to legal procedures. The legal procedures, as in, these are the things that you do so that it will have human face. People will not feel so bad where they are getting money to train their children, where they are getting money to feed, and a whole lot of them. So you don't just, because you said it's an illegal thing and you come and do it anyhow. Let there be a guide and a process towards that, and that is what we are discussing. Please, like I used to say, don't leave this thing for me alone. I need your own contribution. Let's make our general contributions towards this, because people are showing concern about our environment, and these things, they are affecting us negatively. Then we talk about the legal approach, that's the legal procedures. Ensure legal framework. Ensure that the removal process complies with the existing laws and regulations. These include adherence to eviction laws, human rights principles, and due process. Yes, when I was doing some introduction earlier, I talked about government having a legal backing towards these processes. Government cannot just, wake up one day and say that they are removing shanties. They are not serious. If government is serious, there should be a laid down rules and regulation. There should be a law. Then, if there is no one in existence, but if laws are in existence, those laws can be cited and they can go ahead to follow these processes that I've just mentioned. Well, we talk about alternative housing and livelihood. Provide alternatives, that is, offer alternative housing solution for those affected. As in, if the shanty affected people living in it, if they are using this one not for trading, but they are living in it. So you try to provide alternative, especially if their current dwellings serve as their primary residence. That is what I am saying. Then livelihood support. Implement programs to support affected individuals, ensuring they are not left economically vulnerable. You see, if you don't provide support for these people, you are pushing them back into the street to go and start some other illegal form. You sold a monkey and you bought a baboon, or you bought a dog. You still have a swatting thing in your house. So it's about rehabilitating them and giving them support if these things are being done to them. That is what we are saying. Then we talk about impact assessments. Conduct social impact assessments. Assess the social and economic impact of the removal, including potential displacement and consequences for vulnerable populations. That is what we have been saying. You assess the effects. What could be the likely result of these things, that if government embark on it, what could be the likely results of what we are doing? That is it. Then, under impact assessment, we still talk about mitigation strategies. Develop and implement strategies to mitigate negative impact on affected communities. Well, we have said something related to that, earlier. That's the things that government need to do to mitigate, to reduce the sufferings of these people, like having alternative building and giving it out to them on a giveaway, prizes or something like that, just to give them a soft landing. Then we talk about transparency. Transparent process is very important. It's one of the critical processes that governments need to take. Ensure transparency in the decision making. It's not this muchi something. Everything has to be open. And the criteria used for the removal to build trust and understanding among affected population. Even the criteria that you used should be made open so that everybody will not feel cheated and you carry them along. Then the human rights consideration. Government has to look into the human rights aspect of it. Consideration for human rights. Talk about respect human rights. Uphold the human rights of individuals affected by the removal, ensuring their dignity, safety, and well-being are prioritized. You don't just come and push them out. Go. There is a law for this. The law has said people should not have shanties. Blah 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 blah. Go. No. People have the right of existence, and people have that human right. So their safety should be ensured, their well-being are to be prioritized, and their dignity should be intact. Don't treat them like animals. That is what I am saying. Then temporary relocation facilities. You see, we are rolling these things one by one. These are the process, that critical step that government that is serious. It's not that you just wake up one day and say, we are removing shanties. That if government is serious about this thing, yes, some of these shanties don't need, much rehabilitation. But we are talking about the critical ones that need rehabilitations. That's what we are talking about. Then you have to provide temporary facilities. If temporary relocation is necessary, ensure the provisions of adequate and humane facilities with access to essential services. While doing this demolition, government must have set out somewhere temporary facilities that people that need to be located there temporarily. If the demolition affects people's residence, because there are some shanties people can be living in. It's not every shanties that are that are meant for trading. People can be hiding, people can be using these shanties and they lay their head in the night. That is what I'm saying. So government should ensure that some places are being mapped out in case somebody that you know that you cannot cope, you go there and stay. Then provide amenities there like water, electricity, food, and the rest of them. Documentation and records. Record keeping, very important. Maintain accurate record of the affected individuals, and their circumstances before, during, and after the removal process. Well, documentation and records, that is what I am talking about. Now, I'm done with documentation and record. After you must have done documentation, knowing their position before, during, and after. Then you talk about legal aid and assistance. Legal support. Provide legal aid and assistance to those affected, ensuring they have access to information and representation. if really that they want to have a court case, some of them might decide to have a court case. So they are saying that government should help them to provide the legal aid for those people, affected people, and give them the information that they need. Well, I know the kind of society that this kind of thing can be applicable. However, let's go ahead. Then we talk about monitoring and evaluation. Post-removal evaluation. Conduct post-removal evaluations to assess the effectiveness of the process and address any ongoing issues or challenges. You see, to it's not just doing this process. Government has to also assess if what they have done is quite okay, and in order how people are reacting to what they have done and the rest of them. So, well, if you have not subscribed to this channel, click on the subscription button, notification bell. I want to hear your view concerning this, our discussions. Like this video and don't forget to share it. Thank you as you do that. Bye for now.